I didn't like how they dealt with Lisa Bonet. It was rude to treat her badly in front of the crowd and me. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, A Different World became a cultural touchstone by combining humor with serious social problems. There was one unforgettable moment that shocked viewers and broke rules that would eventually decide the end of the beloved show. Was this scene too divisive, too ahead of its time, or just not clear? No matter what the reason was, it set off a chain of events that ended the show in a strange and sudden way. We'll look at the untold story behind the most famous scene in A Different World and how it changed everything in this movie. Stay tuned because we're about to find out the truth about what really ended an age. Before we talk about the famous scene that changed everything, let's remember how interesting people found A Different World while it was running. That kind of show had a classy, brassy, and ambitious energy that easily mixed fun and heart. It was fun, smart, and full of shocks. It was also deliciously funny and impossible to forget. Actress Lisa Bonet plays Denise Huxtable, a character from the show that is a spin-off of The Cosby Show. Bill Cosby created the show and wanted to show college life through her eyes. When it first aired on NBC on September 24th, 1987, A Different World was mostly about Denise's journey at Hillman College, a made-up historically black college in Virginia. People loved how the show mixed comedy with real-life problems, and it became a big hit right away. As time went on and Lisa Bonet left the show, though, other characters stood out. Whitley Gilbert and Dwayne Wayne, who were played by Jasmine Guy and Kadeem Hardison, stood out. Bill Cosby got the idea for A Different World from his own college years, especially his time at Temple University. He has a lot of respect for historic ally black colleges and universities, or HBCUs. The show was supposed to follow the story of a white student who goes to a black college at first, but that idea quickly changed. Instead, it was about Denise Huxtable, which made the story more real, complex, and exciting. Real colleges and universities like Howard University and Spelman College were used as inspiration for the setting of Hillman College, which was made up. The traditions and cultural importance of these colleges shaped Hillman, making it more than just a background. It became a famous figure on its own. The people who made A Different World had to deal with a lot of problems before the show could air. At one point, the story was supposed to be about a white student going to a historically black college, but that plan was eventually thrown out. Instead, it turned to Denise Huxtable, a figure from The Cosby Show that people knew. This change not only made more sense with the story's goals, but it also made Denise's journey flow more naturally. Bill Cosby and the production team wanted to make a show that was both fun and educational. They wanted to show fans what it's like to be a student at a historically black college or university. A Different World was made with the help of many skilled people working together. Bill Cosby was very important in coming up with the idea for and shaping the show, making sure it fit with his vision of promoting black culture and talking about important social problems. He helped bring the show to life with the help of executive producers Marcy Carsey, Tom Werner, and Karen Mandabach. The show isn't afraid to face hard truths, as shown by Colonel Taylor's powerful monologue in which he talks about the systemic racism he's had to deal with despite his schooling and service. The casting of A Different World was a big part of its success. It brought together a diverse and interesting group of actors who captivated viewers. Lisa Bonet came back to play Denise Huxtable again and was a fan favorite on The Cosby Show. Marissa Tomei played Denise's strange room. Many people liked A Different World because it dealt with serious problems in a way that was both funny and easy to understand. At the time, it was one of the few popular TV shows that went so deeply into important issues like race, class, gender, and relationships. The show did more than just entertain fans, it taught them about the issues, successes, and realities of college life. The show became a nationally important part of TV history because of how well it mixed humor and social commentary. It broke down barriers, brought attention to important problems, and turned into more than just a comedy. There was a reason for the show. What made A Different World so powerful for fans was how honestly it showed life at a historically black college. By setting its stories at Hillman College, a made-up HBCU, the show gave viewers a new and important view that is rarely seen on TV. It showed how black students celebrated black culture and also talked about the problems they faced. The stories in the show showed how diverse black culture is. They also gave an honest picture of college life, including social and political issues that other shows often missed. A lot of people liked and could relate to the show because it had a good mix of funny and serious themes. A Different World gave underrepresented groups a voice and a way for everyone to learn, laugh, and connect. whether it was about systemic problems, interpersonal disagreements, or the joy of personal growth. Culture was deeply affected by A Different World, and the effects lasted for a long time and went beyond TV. The show not only showed how important education is, but it also made a lot of people aware of historically black schools and universities because it showed the exciting college life and unique experiences of HBCU students. It generated a lot of interest in and enrollment in these schools, both during its run and in the years that followed. The show focused on how important college is and how going to college can change your life. A lot of young fans who might not have thought about college before were inspired to dream bigger by what they saw on the show. People really connected with it because it showed problems and victories that were relatable, like balancing schoolwork, dealing with personal problems, and figuring out your life's meaning. Most importantly, A Different World broke down negative stereotypes about black kids by showing them in a positive, complex way, which wasn't common on TV at the time. The show's characters were all different, with their own past, goals, and points of view. This made the stories seem real and interesting. It was a huge hit that A Different World, popular with viewers and getting good numbers, especially in the beginning seasons. When it first aired on NBC on September 24th, 1987, the show was an instant hit, and during its peak, it regularly ranked among the top 10 TV shows. It became very famous because of its unique point of view, strong writing, and talented cast. Reviewers praised the show for taking a brave stance on major social problems and for skillfully blending funny and touching stories. Even though A Different World's ratings went down a bit in later seasons, the show still had a strong fan group that watched every episode until the very end. Even after it stopped airing on TV, the show's impact lasted, inspiring new viewers through reruns and streaming services. A Different World had a deep and far-reaching effect on the people who watched it. At the time, the show rarely talked about tough issues like race relations, sexual misconduct, and HIV/AIDS on mainstream TV. One of the most important episodes, No Means No, aired during the second season and was about inappropriate dating and college campuses. This episode started talks that were hard to have in the late 1980s because it was about consent and what really happens when people don't agree to something. The show's bravery. In episodes like Mammy Dearest, the painful past of the mammy stereotype was explored. These episodes gave viewers a chance to think and gain new perspective. During a Black History gathering, Kim and Whitley had a disagreement about how to use the mammy trope. This led to a deep discussion of the cultural implications of this. A powerful performance at the end of the show reimagined and redefined the mammy character, turning her from a symbol of oppression into a symbol of strength and resilience. It was a great example of how fun and stories were used in A Different World to talk about tough social problems in a way that was both fun and educational. The drama that went on behind the scenes of A Different World was just as interesting as the stories that were shown on TV. Lisa Bonet, who played Denise Huxtable, quit the show, which caused a big fuss. In the first season, Denise was the main character, but in the summer of 1988, Bonet told everyone that she and her husband, Lenny Kravitz, were going to have a baby. Debbie Allen, who was hired to make the show better, wanted to include Bonet's pregnancy in the plot, so she played Denise as a young student who is pregnant. But the show's author, Bill Cosby, didn't agree. He thought that because Denise was a good girl on The Cosby Show, people wouldn't accept her as an unmarried mom. Denise was then told to leave Hillman College and go back home with the goal of finally going to Africa. Bonet was no longer on the show after this. Bonet's exit also changed other characters in small ways. Maggie, Denise's roommate, was played by Marissa Tomei, who was originally hired to play a white student going to a historically black college. But in the end, the network turned down this plot. Debbie Allen had wanted Maggie to have to deal with the difficult task of facing reverse racism, but the producers chose not to go that way, which caused Tomei to leave too. Cress Summer and Charnel Brown took over for Mireille Tomei and Maria Ellis Rasner, who was also an actor on the show. These new people brought new ideas and energy to the show, which helped it stay alive and changing. A Different World changed a lot in the second season. Instead of focusing on Denise and Maggie, the show went on to other characters, especially Whitley Gilbert and Dwayne Wayne. When Jasmine Guy and Kadeem Hardison were cast as the main characters, their roles became the most important parts of the show. With this change, the show could explore a bigger range of topics, which made it feel more current and interesting to viewers. More serious social problems were also talked about on the show, which helped it connect with viewers on a deeper level. As the artistic leader of the show, Debbie Allen had a big impact on this change. Allen, who graduated from Howard University, wrote about life at a mainly black college from a real-life point of view. It was important to her that the show deal with more serious and political issues, and she made sure that it showed the real problems black kids faced. Because of her vision, A Different World not only kept its cultural importance, but it also became a unique way to learn and have fun at the same time, giving people an honest look at life at a black college. Even though there were problems, most of the changes made in the second season worked. Cree Summer played Freddie Brooks, and Sherelle Brown played Kim Reese. Adding new characters like these gave the group even more depth and variety. Glenn Turman and Lou Myers joined the cast as supporting characters, and Daryl M. Bell and Sinbad were made main cast members. With these versions, the cast became more interesting, and Whitley and Dwayne became the main characters of the show's stories. No MA. Due to how popular the show was, it was suddenly canceled, which shocked both fans and group members. Throughout its run, A Different World was a ratings hit, always ranking among the top shows, especially. After that, the actors took things into their own hands and each asked for a raise. They got what they fought for in the end. Producer Debbie Allen also made sure that everyone in the group had the same chances to move up in their careers. She changed their contracts so that the main cast could write or direct 1 or 2 episodes each season. This gave them a chance to show off their skills behind the scenes. Here are some things you may not have known about the 6th-season show that was nominated for an Emmy. The basic idea was not at all what it is now. At first, A Different World was supposed to be about a white girl going to a college that has a history of black students. Maggie Lawton, the lead role, was first given to Meg Ryan, but before shooting the pilot, she decided to take a break from TV to focus on her making movies. So, the story changed to focus on Denise, who was getting used to living without her family. Maggie, played by Marissa Tomei now, moved in with Denise and played a smaller part. At the last minute, the first pilot was thrown out. The producers and the network were both unhappy with the show's progress after 4 shows were shot. Ann Beats, who used to write for Saturday Night Live, was hired to be the new producer. Bates had already made the short-lived sitcom Square Pegs and was asked to make a whole new pilot 6 weeks before it was meant to air. The first season had good numbers, mostly because it aired at a good time between The Cosby Show and Cheers. However, critics were very critical, calling it dull and unfunny, awful, and a big yawn. Lisa Bonet's pregnancy happened by chance. Lisa Bonet, who played Denise, told everyone right after season 1 ended that she was pregnant. This helped the show's makers decide that she should leave the show. After Bonet left, Ann Beats and Marissa Tomei also left, and Debbie Allen too. Kay Over as director. Lisa Bonet and Marissa Tomei are still good friends. Lisa Bonet and Marissa Tomei became close friends, even though they only worked together for a short time. All 3 of Bonet's children made Tomei their aunt and was there when 2 of them were born. Dwayne Wayne got the idea for his glasses from a David Bowie show. Ann Beats came up with the idea for Kadeem Hardison's famous flip-top sunglasses, which became a trademark look for his character, Dwayne Wayne. So she looked for a one-of-a-kind piece of clothing for Dwayne that would make him stand out as a weird and nerdy person. At a David Bowie show, Beats saw guitarist Carlos Alomar wearing a similar pair of glasses, which gave him the idea. The Dwayne Wayne glasses were born right then. For Whitley, Jasmine Guy used the accent of her 3rd-grade teacher. Jasmine Guy tried out for the part of Jaleesa at first, but Dawn Lewis got it in the end. She didn't know what a Southern Belle should sound like when she went back to try out for Whitley. As a result, she chose to use an accent from her childhood that made fun of her 3rd-grade teacher, Mrs. Pinkard. Her friends always found it funny. Author of the show was used to make Whitley Gilbert. Head writer Susan Fales Hill got the idea for the character Whitley Gilbert from her own life. Gilbert is known for being rich, spoiled, and often dumb. Fales Hill was raised in luxury with servants and a special school. Her parents were a beautiful Haitian actress and a wealthy Italian businessman. In her book, Always Wear Joy, she wrote about how hard it was for her to fit in as a student at Harvard, and was sometimes picked on by black kids because they thought she was too white. The show had ties to Spike Lee's school years. The main group of A Different World includes Jasmine Guy, Kadeem Hardison, and Daryl M. Bell. They had all were ked together before on Spike Lee's school projects. In an interview with Vibe in 2008, Lee said that he felt bad that he didn't try to get School Days turned into a TV show. I fell asleep on that In a 2014 interview with SAC Cultural Hub, she shared that her character's interracial relationship with a Caucasian student led to a lot of negative feedback. Most of the backlash came from men in prison. She recalled they were upset that NBC paired the only black girl on the show with a white guy. Brown also opened up about the struggles she faced early in her career, often being told her dark complexion wasn't in style during auditions. Colonel Taylor was married to Aretha Franklin. Don Lewis, who played Jaleesa Vinson, not only starred on the show but also co-wrote its theme song. Jaleesa's character left the show after season 5 when she eloped with math professor Colonel Taylor. In real life, Lewis left a different world to take on a starring role in Hangin' with Mr. Cooper, which came with a substantial salary increase. As for the theme song, it was performed by none other than Aretha Franklin from season 2 to season 5. The Queen of Soul was actually the ex-wife of Glynn Turman, who portrayed Colonel Taylor. Tempest Bledsoe found love on a different world. Tempest Bledsoe made a guest appearance on A Different World as Vanessa Huxtable in 1989. While there wasn't an immediate spark, 5 years later, she started dating Daryl M. Bell, who played Ron Johnson. The two are still together today, describing themselves as happily unmarried. Since A Different World ended in 1993, the cast members have all taken unique paths in their careers and personal lives, but their impact on the entertainment industry is still felt today. Lisa Bonet, who played Denise Huxtable, left the show after season 1 due to her pregnancy. She shifted her focus to raising her daughter, Zoe Kravitz, who has since become a successful actress and singer in her own right. Bonet returned to acting in films like Enemy of the State, 1998, and High Fidelity, 2000, and also appeared in TV shows such as Ray Donovan and Girls. Jasmine Guy, known for portraying the unforgettable Whitley Gilbert, continued to build her career in both television and film. She appeared in shows like Dead Like Me, The Vampire Diaries, and Grey's Anatomy. Guy also expanded her talents into theater and voice acting, showcasing her versatility. Whitley remains one of the most iconic characters from A Different World, and Guy is still widely celebrated for her unforgettable performance. Kadeem Hardison, who became a fan favorite as Dwayne Wayne, maintained a steady presence in the entertainment world. He starred alongside Zendaya in the Disney Channel show KC Undercover and made appearances in series such as Supernatural, House, and Girlfriends. Hardison's character, known for his iconic flip-up glasses, has become a cultural symbol, and he continues to be loved by fans of the show. Daryl M. Bell, who played Ron Johnson, moved on to other television roles after A Different World. He starred in the science fiction comedy Homeboy in Outer Space and made guest appearances on shows like Cosby and Insecure. Bell is married to Tempest Bledsoe, his The Cosby Show co-star. The couple even appeared together on the reality TV series House Husbands of Hollywood. Sherelle Brown, who joined the cast in the second season as Kim Reese, continued to work in television and film. She appeared in shows like Martin, My Wife and Kids, and Girlfriends. Brown also pursued work behind the scenes, producing and writing for projects such as the TV movie BKS, Best Kept Secret in 2012, and the film Dilemma in 2022. Dawn Lewis, who played Jaleesa Vinson, has had a long and varied career in both acting and voice work. She appeared in shows like Hanging with Mr. Cooper, One Tree Hill, and The Secret Life of the American Teenager. Lewis also lent her voice to numerous animated series, including Futurama, The CL, Evelyn's Show, and The Simpsons, showcasing her impressive versatility. Cree Summer, who portrayed Freddie Brooks, has become a well-known voice actress. She's voiced characters in popular animated